Oh, precious people, if only you knew. If only you knew the sweetness, the glory, the gentleness, the unending companionship of the one who walks beside me. Even now, there is nothing I treasure more in this entire world. You want to know how to become a true friend? Not an acquaintance, not someone who only calls when they're in trouble, but a friend, a true friend of the Spirit of God. Let me tell you, it begins not with noise, but with stillness. You must shut out the world. Oh yes, you must close the door on the voices, the distractions, the demands, the chatter. And in that holy silence, whisper only one thing. I want to know you. That's all. Not a long prayer, not eloquence, just sincerity. The Holy Spirit doesn't come where he's merely invited. He comes where he's desired. I remember nights alone, tears flowing down my cheeks, not because I was sad, but because I felt his presence so near. He is holy. He is sensitive. He is not swayed by talent, charisma, or even your good deeds. No, no. He comes to the humble, to the yielded, to the one who says, "Take all of me." You cannot become a friend of the Spirit if you're full of yourself. Let me say it again. You cannot become a friend of the Spirit if you are full of yourself. He is not looking for golden vessels. He is not searching for silver ones either. He is looking for yielded ones. To truly walk with the Spirit, the journey must begin in stillness. Not the kind of stillness that simply means sitting quietly, but a deeper stillness, the stillness of the soul. This is where distractions cease, voices fade, and the noise of the world is silenced long enough for the Spirit to be heard. He does not shout. He does not force himself upon anyone. He waits for an invitation, not just in words, but in the attitude of the heart. That stillness is where desire is birthed, where hunger grows, and where we begin to truly long for his nearness. It is not in the rush of religious activity or the busyness of doing things for God that we find him. No, the Spirit is not drawn to movement, but to surrender. In the quiet place, when we have laid down our own agendas, when we have stopped trying to earn his presence through performance, that's when he comes. He does not come to perform for us. He comes to commune with us. He seeks relationship, not ritual, and that relationship is deepened through the still moments of reverence, awe, and waiting. There's something sacred about a soul that is still. The world calls it unproductive, but heaven calls it powerful. Because in that stillness we are saying, I value you more than anything else. I am willing to pause my day, silence my thoughts, and quiet my heart just to be with you. This is the language of friendship. Not demanding, not rushing, not filling space with endless words, but waiting, listening, honoring. Friendship with the Spirit is not built in a single moment, but over time, in still places where no one else is watching. There is a beauty in those moments where nothing is happening outwardly, yet something eternal is being formed inwardly. Our affections are aligned, our focus is refined, our hearts are softened. He speaks most clearly when we are most quiet. He moves most powerfully when we stop trying to make things happen ourselves. And in that stillness, he comes. Not always with thunder or great displays, but with peace, with a whisper, with presence. And in that moment, we know we are not alone. He is near. The Holy Spirit does not dwell in lofty places built by human pride. He is not drawn to the noise of ego or the clamor of ambition. He moves in quiet power, where hearts are soft, where souls are yielded, and where self has been laid down. Pride repels him. It builds walls. It says, I can do this on my own. And the Spirit will never force his way into a place where he is not welcomed with deep humility. There is something beautiful, almost sacred, about a soul that is surrendered. A yielded heart says, I don't want my will, I want yours. I don't want my way, I want your way. And that kind of posture, oh, it is irresistible to the Spirit of God. He looks not at titles, not at talent, not even at how long you've walked the Christian road. He looks for the one who is bowed low, the one who has emptied themselves of self-sufficiency. So many try to bring their resumes to God, their achievements, their accomplishments, their ministries. But the Spirit is not looking for what you can do. He is looking for who is willing to let go, to surrender, to die, to self. Because only then can He fill you. Only then can He breathe His life into your life. Pride says, I've got this. Surrender says, I can't take another step without you. Pride builds a name. Surrender lifts up His name. Pride seeks the stage. Surrender seeks His face. And where there is true surrender, there is always power. Not the power of personality, but the power of the Spirit that flows through broken, yielded vessels. You cannot be full of the Holy Spirit and full of yourself at the same time. One must make room for the other. He comes to the weak, to the desperate, to the ones who have come to the end of their own strength, and whispered, Lord, I need you. It is not a position of shame. It is a position of access. And in that moment of yielding, He comes in glory, in beauty, and in gentle strength. The yielded life is the vessel through which the Spirit flows freely. Obedience is not a harsh word in the vocabulary of the Spirit. It is the love language of true friendship. It is not about rules or fear or obligation. It is about trust. It is about the heart that says, because I love you, I will follow you. Even when I don't understand, so many people want the presence of the Spirit. They want His power, His peace, His leading, but they do not want to obey. And yet obedience is the very place where intimacy is proven. You see, anyone can sing the songs. Anyone can lift their hands. But when He whispers, let that go, or walk away from that, or speak when it's uncomfortable, that is when the heart is tested. Do we value His voice above our convenience? Do we love Him more than we love our own comfort? That is where true friendship is formed, in the small daily yes. Obedience is not always easy. Sometimes it costs you everything. Sometimes it means walking away from things that once made you feel safe. Sometimes it means standing alone. But in that place of obedience, you find the sweetness of His companionship. You discover that He does not just walk with you in the sunshine. He walks with you in the surrender. He does not call you to obey so that He can control you. No, He calls you to obey so that He can protect you, lead you, and pour Himself into you without hindrance. Every time you say yes to Him, you clear the path for deeper fellowship. Every step of obedience becomes a step closer to His heart. The Spirit doesn't require perfection. He looks for a willing heart, a heart that says, not my will, but yours. And every time we obey, we echo that prayer. We align ourselves with heaven. We say to Him, I trust you more than I trust myself. And that's what friendship really is. Trust. When you obey, you are saying, I trust that your way is better. And in that trust, in that yielding, the bond of intimacy grows deeper and deeper. True friends of the Spirit don't just love His presence. They love His will. They don't just sing to Him, they follow Him. And that is the mark of real friendship. The Holy Spirit is not like anyone else you've ever known. He is not common. He is not casual. He is holy and He is sensitive. There is a sacredness to His presence that demands reverence, not fear, but deep honor. When He comes gently, quietly, like a soft breeze. And just as quickly as He comes, He can withdraw, not in anger, but in grief, because He is easily wounded by disregard, by pride, by sin, by distraction. He does not force Himself into noisy hearts. He waits for the soul that knows how to honor Him. This is where many miss Him. They want His power, but treat Him casually. They want His gifts, but they ignore His person. The Holy Spirit is not an experience. He is a person. He feels, he speaks, he longs to be welcomed, to be cherished, to be trusted, but he will never remain where he is merely tolerated. He stays where he is treasured. You cannot live in deep friendship with the Spirit and live carelessly. He is not moved by performance. He is drawn to purity, not perfection, but a heart that longs to please him. He sees past the words and the outward show. He sees the posture of the heart, and when he finds one who reveres him, who lives in sensitivity to his whispers, he pours himself out in ways words cannot describe. He can be grieved, not because he is weak, but because he loves. When we ignore his nudges, when we resist his voice, when we choose compromise over obedience, it hurts him. He's not distant or cold. He is close, closer than breath. And that closeness is what makes his sensitivity so profound. We must learn to walk gently, to speak gently, to think gently, to guard our eyes, our hearts, our speech, not because of legalism, but because we do not want to hurt the one who has loved us so faithfully. The more we grow in awareness of his holiness, the more we will long to live in a way that welcomes him. And when we learn to live like that, we will find a depth of communion with the Spirit that changes everything. He will share his heart. He will reveal his secrets. He will walk with us as only a true friend can. True friendship with the Spirit will cost you something. It always does. You cannot walk closely with him and cling to everything else. His presence is precious, and he does not dwell in a divided heart. There comes a moment when he gently asks, "Will you lay that down for me?" And your answer determines how deep your friendship will grow. Sacrifice is not a punishment. It is a divine invitation. It is not about losing something. It is about making room for something far greater. To be a friend of the Spirit, you must be willing to release anything that competes with him. Your reputation, your comfort, your plans, even your relationships. It may sound costly, and it is, but the reward is priceless. You cannot carry the weight of the world and the weight of his glory at the same time. You must choose. And those who choose him will never regret it. He asks not for part of you, but for all of you. Not just your Sunday mornings, not just your prayers when things go wrong, but your life. He wants to walk with you in the secret place, in the unseen moments, in the quiet decisions that no one else notices. To walk with the Spirit is to say, "I'd rather have you than anything." And you will be tested on that. There will be moments when he asks you to walk away from applause, to step down from something you built, to turn your back on what is popular, simply because it grieves him. And the question will echo again, do you want me or do you want that? But oh, what joy